Hello dear students of 9th standard. This is the science revision question paper and it includes the chapters which are there for the SA1 examination. Let us go through some of the questions which are given like this. SI unit of force is dash. The answer is Newton. The volt is the SI unit for the potential difference. Watt is the SI unit for the power. Joule is the SI unit of the energy. You have to study all the different kinds of the SI units given over here. Do not stick on to the questions which are given here. It can be changed in the question paper. So you have to be ready for any type of questions. Which statement is true about the solids? Let us read the statements like this. When they are heated, the distance between the molecule decreases. This statement appears to be wrong because when we heat, the molecules will move farther, so the intermolecular space increases. Their size and shape is specific or fixed. So it is correct. For solid state, they will be having a fixed size and shape. Their density is less as compared to the liquid. But it is not true. The density of the solids will increase because the molecules will be very close to each other and they occupy in a less volume, more number you will see. They have interspace, means much interspace. No, they are very compactly arranged. They don't have the intermolecular space. So the B is correct answer because they have the fixed size and shape. Now let us take the third question. Rate of change of velocity. The rate of change of velocity is the acceleration and its SI unit, to remind you, is meter per second square. Now let us take the fourth question. Equation of motion is V is equal to U plus AT. To find this equation of motion, which graph should be used? The graph should be used here is the velocity time graph. So the answer is velocity versus time graph. That should be selected as the equation of motion. V is equal to U plus AT has to be derived. Fifth question. The law which states that when a gun is fired, it pushes the hand backward. So the answer is Newton's third law, which states that the action and the reaction can be equal as well as opposite. So this is the Newton's third law. Which of the following is not a colloid? There are 4 types of materials given here: cloud, milk, seawater and blood. Seawater is the correct answer because it is not a colloid, it is a solution. Other 3 things are colloids. Now let us see, 7th question is, what are the elements in air? Air has nitrogen, oxygen and other gases like carbon dioxide, neon and the water vapor mainly. So here if we check, oxygen and nitrogen is there, that is the correct answer. If we check the other answers, carbon and oxygen is not correct because carbon dioxide is there, it is not carbon. Hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen is not there. Water vapor is there. Carbon and neon, carbon is not there, carbon dioxide and neon can be possible. But the correct answer to be selected here is oxygen and nitrogen. Now 8th question. To separate the various components of petroleum oil, which method is suitable? The option is fractional distillation should be selected. Now the next one, 9th question is, connective tissue that stores fat is the adipose tissue. The name that does not match with the function, that is the question. The different organelles of the cell are given and there are some options which are not matching with the function. Let us check one by one. Golgi complex, which produces the lysosome. This is correct. Endoplasmic reticulum acts as a framework of the cell. This is also correct. Ribosome, which acts as a storage, is wrong. Ribosome acts as a protein synthesis factory. So C is incorrect. C has to be selected, which is not matching with the function. Let us check. Lysosome, transportation of material is given. Lysosome is actually is a transporting body only, but it transports the enzymes. Now endoplasmic reticulum, again it's given, give the structure to the cell. It is also correct. So we have to select ribosome, which is not going to do this storage function. It is the protein factory of the cell. Let us go to the next question. That is 1 mark type of question. What is the force exerted on the body of the mass 1 kg if it has to achieve the acceleration of 1 meter per second square? This is the definition of 1 Newton. So the answer is 1 Newton. Second question, state the Newton's first law of motion. The Newton's first law of motion states that an object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied force. In very easy way, you can say the first law of motion like this. Unless an external force is applied, the object remains in the state of rest, or it will continue to move in the straight line unless it is applied by the external force. You can even state the first law of motion in this way, or another way is also there. All objects resist a change in their state of motion. That means they want to be in the state of inertia. That state of object to resist the change in their state of motion is called as inertia. So the first law is called as law of inertia. It is given clearly in the page number 116 of science textbook. Now let us take the next question, 13th question. Write any two equations of motion. There is an equation even in your question paper here. V is equal to U plus AT. That is one of the equations of motion. There are two other equations. S is equal to UT plus half AT square, or another equation is 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. All letters must be in small letters only. No capitals should be used to represent these equations of motion. The equations of motion are given in 107 page number. Now let us move to the 14th question. Give an example of a substance changing directly from solid state to gaseous form. This is the example for the sublimating substance. You can give camphor, ammonium chloride, or the solidified carbon dioxide. Dry ice also can be given for this sublimating substance. Even the naphthalene balls, moth balls are called, they are also given for this. And the change of state from solid to gaseous state is called as sublimation. 15th question. Classify the following as metals and non-metals. Let me identify the metals first. Mercury, which is the liquid metal. And then iron is also a metal which is there in the steel. Gold is ornamental metal. Silver is also a very ornamental metal. Sodium is a very highly reactive soft metal. And then magnesium wire, which is used for burning in the laboratory. So these are all the metals. The non-metals are sulfur. Sulfur is a solid, chlorine is a gaseous non-metal, hydrogen, phosphorus. These are the non-metals. 16th question, name the solute and solvent in the sugar solution. The solute is the sugar and the solvent is the water. The liquid is generally called, which is there in more quantity, is called as a solvent. If it is asked in air, which is the solute and which is the solvent, in air 78% nitrogen gas we find and oxygen is less, 21%. So we will call the nitrogen as the solvent and oxygen as the solute. And even there are more number of solutes like carbon dioxide and the other gases, they are also solutes. Now 17th question, name two organelles found in only in animal cell. Two organelles are, the first one is centriole and the second one is the lysosome. Generally lysosomes are present in animal cell. In the second question, B part, name two organelles found only in the plant cell. Plant cell has the organelle called the chloroplast, chromoplasts or leucoplasts, you can name them. So they are the organelles present only in the plant cells. And there is another structure which is there in the plant cell and not there in the animal cell, is the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose. Now 18th question we will undertake. What are the two measures to prevent mosquito-borne diseases? We have to eradicate the mosquitoes to prevent the mosquito-borne diseases like dengue and the malaria majorly. How to eradicate the mosquito? First measure is to kill the mosquitoes in their breeding places by using some sprays which can be nature friendly or eco-friendly. Next, we can even prevent the water to get stored in a place. We have to keep the water storage systems closed. Even our sewage should be closed. It should not be open so that mosquitoes cannot breed. We have to keep everything in our surrounding clean. We should not allow the water to be stagnant or stay in a place. And the next one is we should use the cloths which are light colored or white in color. And we should cover our body with the cloths. We can use the mosquito nets to avoid the mosquito bites. We can even use the mosquito sprays or mosquito repellents. So these measures can be used to prevent the mosquito-borne diseases. What is the disease caused by the dog bite is the question. Rabies is the disease caused by the dog bite. Now the next question number 3 we will move. 19th question is, classify the following as contact force or non-contact force. Gravitational force is the non-contact force. Magnetic force, non-contact force. Electrostatic force is also non-contact force. Friction is a contact force. Pressure is also contact force. 20th question. State the Newton's third law of motion with suitable examples. Newton's third law states that every action has got the equal and opposite reaction. And the suitable example, one example is when we trigger a bullet from the pistol, the bullet moves forward, but the pistol exerts the same pressure backward on the hands. One more example is when the rocket is launched, the rocket is going to exert the pressure backward by pushing downward the smoke, and the rocket is launched upward. Next question is, what is the Newton's second law of motion called? And write the formula that expresses it. Newton's second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. The formula is F is equal to F capital force is equal to M into A. M is the mass of the object and A is the acceleration. And this law is also called as law of momentum. 21st question. Classify the following substances into pure and impure substances. Pure substances, as you know, they can be classified into the elements, metals, non-metals, inert gases, and also the chemical compounds. Chemical compounds can be the oxides, acids, bases, anything, salts. Now let us see which are the pure substances and which are the mixtures or impure substances. Drinking water. As you know, drinking water has the salts in it. So it is an impure substance. Though it is pure water to drink, it will be an impure substance as per the definition. Milk is an impure substance. It is a colloid. Sugar is a pure substance. It is a chemical compound. Sea water is a impure substance because it has got lots of salts dissolved in water. Cloud is a impure substance because it is a colloidal state. Blood is impure substance. Diamond can be pure substance because it is the allotropic form of carbon, which is an element. Ammonia is a chemical compound. Carbon is an element. Plastic is a chemical compound. Plastic is a mixture. Petroleum is also a mixture. Air is a mixture. Soil is a mixture. All these mixtures are the impure substances. Hydrogen is the element. Now element is a pure substance. Now any materials can be asked to classify to pure and impure substances. Now 22nd question. Write differences between 4 physical properties of solids and liquids. Solids are malleable. Solids are having the definite shape and the volume. Liquids have the definite volume but they don't have the definite shape. They change their shape as per the container. Now in solids, the intermolecular space is very least. In liquids, there is average difference or intermolecular space between the molecules. The molecules are very compact in solids. In liquids, it is loose. The solids have the highest force of attraction between the molecules. Liquids have average force of attraction between the molecules. You can even draw the structure of the molecules arrangements in solids and liquids and score 2 marks for this question. In the following situations, name the processes. If water bottle is taken out of the fridge, water drops appear on the bottle. This is because the water vapor in the air gets condensed when it comes in contact with the cold water bottle. and the water vapor converts into water droplets which appear on the bottle. It is the condensation process. B. It feels cool when petrol falls on the hand. Because petrol has very less boiling point, the liquid petrol gets evaporated when it falls on our hands. Our body temperature only is sufficient for the petrol to get evaporated easily. And to get evaporated, the petrol uses our body temperature. So we lose the temperature and feel very cool. C. Woolen clothes are worn in winters while cotton clothes are suitable in summer season. This is because the cotton clothes have the pores in them and we sweat more in summer. During summer, the sweat has to get evaporated so as to keep our body cool. So cotton clothes allow the evaporation process. They allow the sweat to get evaporated so we feel cool. Next, name two fluid connective tissues in animal. The two fluid connective tissues are blood and the lymph. Explain their function. Blood helps in the transportation of the gases and the materials. And the lymph helps even in the transportation of gases and materials, but also it connects between the cells and the blood. Next, 25th question. Name the four cells of cholenchyma. It should be the four cells of the xylem. The xylem has four cells which are xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber, trachea and the vessels. Which of the cells of the xylem transports water? The tracheates and the vessels will transport the water. Name the food transporting cells of the phloem. In phloem, the sieve tubes will transport the food. And name a tissue that aids growth in the plants. It should be the tissue which aids the growth in the plant is the meristematic tissue. What are the micronutrients and the macronutrients? Give examples. Micronutrients are needed in very less amount. Macronutrients are needed in more amount by the living organisms. Micronutrients can be the elements such as the iodine, iron, copper, like this. Macronutrients can be nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, sulfur, etc. What is the difference between the fertilizer and the manure? Fertilizer is the chemical compound which is artificially prepared, for example urea. Manure is the natural material which is prepared by using the wastes of plants and animals. For example, the manure prepared by the earthworm is called as the vermicompost, or even some of the materials which are composted, dumped into a pit and then they are allowed for some time to undergo decomposition. They are also called as compost. These composts are also the manures. Now the next question is 27th question. Identify the following parts. Suicide bag of the cell is lysosome. Powerhouse of the cell is mitochondria. Genetic material of the cell is nothing but the DNA or chromosomes. Food synthesizer of the cell is the chloroplast. Part that controls the activities of the cell is nucleus. Protein preparation center of the cell is the ribosome. 28th question, let us see. Name the three types of muscle tissues Draw and explain the differences between them. Muscle tissues are the striped or striated muscles, non-striped or non-striated muscles, and also the cardiac muscle. Striped muscles have the striations. They are found in the skeletal. They are found always attached to the skeletal system, and they help in the actual movement of the body. They are found in our legs, hands, neck, back, etc. Non-striated or unstriped muscles, they don't have the striations. They are spindle shaped, unlike the striated, which are elongated tube like. The unstriated muscles, they are found in the involuntary functioning organs, that is internal organs, and their walls, like the walls of the stomach or small intestine or some glands, etc. Cardiac muscles are found mainly in the wall of the heart, and they help in the rhythmic contractions and relaxations of the heart, and they create the heartbeat, and they help the blood to get pumped. So these are the differences between the three different types of muscle cells. You can study the structure and draw them. The structure of the muscle cells are given clearly in the 77 page number, and you can refer to that page. 29th question is, what is velocity? The velocity is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction. The SI unit of the velocity is meter per second. The difference between the uniform motion and the non-uniform motion is asked. If an object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, then it is said to be in uniform motion. If the object covers different distances in equal intervals of time, then it is non-uniform motion. Then the next question is 30th question. What is speed? The speed of an object is the rate of change of the distance, or the distance travelled by the object in unit time. The SI unit is the same as velocity, that is meter per second. Thirty-first question is, three bodies are given below. The greatest force has to be found out. The formula applied here is Newton's second law of motion, that is F is equal to m into A. In each instances, force is to be calculated by using m into A formula. M is expressed in terms of kilograms, that is mass of the body. And velocity is also given 25 meter per second square. For first body, 10 into 25 is 250 newtons is the force needed. For second body, 50 into 8. So 400 newtons is the answer. For third body, 150 into 2. That is 300 newtons. So we are getting 400 as the biggest value. So greatest force needed is for the second body to push it 8 meter per second square acceleration, and the mass of the body is 50 kg. That is coming up to 400 Newton needed. So greatest force is needed for second body. Let us move to 32nd question. What happens when bar magnet is brought near the magnetic needle? The bar magnet will make the magnetic needle to move here and there and fro and away. And then what happens if the pole of the magnetic bar magnet is changed? If the pole is changed, the movement of the magnetic needle also will change the direction. Name the type of energy. The energy here is magnetic energy. And the next one, which material is attracted by the magnets? Ferromagnetic materials like iron or nickel, they will be attracted towards the magnet. Next, 33rd question. Find the method of separation for the following mixtures. Separation of iron mixed with sulfur is magnetic separation method. Separation of different colors, chromatography. To obtain water and salt from salt solution is water and salt both have to be obtained. Then we have to go for the distillation process. Otherwise, if we have to get only the salt, then we can go for evaporation. To separate butter from curd, centrifugation. Separating components of air, we can supercool the components of the air and then again we can follow the fractional distillation. So this is the method to be applied to separate the components of air. F is to obtain salt from seawater is evaporation. Classify them as elements, chemical compounds and mixtures. Cement concrete is a mixture, baking soda chemical compound, copper is the element. Copper nitrate, if it is given, it is chemical compound. Soil is mixture. Iodine is an element. Sodium chloride is a chemical compound. Platinum is the element. Jewelry gold, that is the mixture. Then sulfur is an element. Calcium is an element. Diamond is considered as element. Draw the experimental method to separate the mixture of oil and water, that is by using the separating funnel. It is given in the page number 20. Then draw the diagram showing the separating of ammonium chloride and salt, that is also given in page number 20. Draw the diagram of neuron and label the parts, is given in page number 78. You can refer to that and draw and label. Identify the following tissues, write one of their functions. So you can be given any type of tissues which are there in the chapter number 6. Blood cell, transportation of materials and gases. Skin, protection and protecting the body against the external germs also. Parenchyma cell will help in storage of water and materials. Cholenchyma cells will give the mechanical support. Cells of phloem will help in the transportation of food. Meristem will help in the growth and development of the plant. 38th question is, draw a diagram of plant cell, label the parts. It is given in the chapter number 5. You can refer to the page number 63 and write the differences between prokaryote and eukaryote, that is also given in the page number 63. And also the last question is, write the differences between the plant cell and the animal cell. You can refer. The plant cells have the cell wall. Animal cells do not have the cell wall. Plant cells have the chloroplast. Animal cells do not have the chloroplast. Animal cells have the centriole and also the lysosomes. plant cells do not have lysosomes and the centrioles. These are the differences between the plant cell and the animal cell. So here we conclude the different types of questions which can appear for 1, 2, 3 or 4 marks questions. Best of luck for the SA1 exams.